Hello, my name is Randy Upper and I work at the Rehab Psych Lab at the Lawson Research Institute. Today we'll be talking to you about our study that looked at improving activity engagement among persons with spinal cord injury, SCI. The current COVID-19 pandemic has decreased the availability and accessibility of safe, monitored physical activity programs for persons with SCI living in the community. This is due to quarantine measures, which include the shutdown of facilities and the need to stay home to reduce the risk of virus exposure. The lack of appropriate physical activity programs increase the level of inactivity for those with SCI, which can ultimately contribute to a multitude of secondary complications, including worsening physiological and psychosocial health. Therefore, there is a need for safe and adaptive physical activity programs for this population. The use of telerehabilitation has the potential for continuing activity engagement without the risk of virus exposure. The study evaluated the feasibility and limited efficacy of an online group-based physical activity program for persons with SCI. Participants were recruited through Parkwood Outpatient Clinic and Fitness Center. Only those participants 18 years of age or older, having a sustained SCI, living in the community, and having some upper limb function that permits them to lift at least one arm against gravity were included. Each participant received an initial one-on-one assessment session prior to the program. This involved an evaluation of the need for modifications based on level of physical functioning and any concerns around safety. The initial meeting also introduced participants to the online WebEx platform as a means of resolving any technical issues. The physical activity program consisted of 60-minute cardio resistance sessions twice weekly for 6 weeks. The 60 minutes of each session comprised of a 10-minute warm-up, 25 minutes of circuit interval exercises, 10 minutes of cool down and stretching, and finally a 15-minute socialization period. Here's a quick demonstration of the program. So what I'm going to do is I've got about 30 seconds to demonstrate some of the exercises that are in the program. So the idea behind these exercises is to keep moving. The more repetitions you do, the more exertion you get. There's the 10 exercises for 30 seconds each, so that makes up a total of 5 minutes per round with a 1 minute rest in between. And for those of the participants that want to add resistance, you can use hand weights, regular things around the house like cans of beans, and I had one participant who was a quadriplegic filled up socks with rice and wrapped them around her hand. After each session, participants completed an adverse events diary and rate of perceived exertion. Psychosocial subscales from the NeuroQoL SF were assessed at baseline and post-intervention. Paired sample t-tests were used to assess limited efficacy on outcomes of participant interest. Finally, online physical activity satisfaction questionnaires were administered and assessed at post-treatment. The following are some of our results. Participants were all females. 1 of the participants had quadriplegia and 3 had incomplete injury. The program resulted in significant improvement post-intervention on anxiety and satisfaction with social relationships. All participants stated they were highly satisfied with the program and found that it provided access to fitness they would not otherwise have. Participants stated that the online program was beneficial for their overall well-being. In conclusion, the study demonstrates the acceptability and limited efficacy of an online physical activity program. The program was accessible in large cities and rural settings. Participants with different injury characteristics found the program to be highly satisfactory. Given the need for greater access to services, ongoing implementation of the program is warranted, with plans for further dissemination of findings as more participants complete the study.